Back to our top story, the Supreme Court handing down that 6-3 ruling that clears the way for the Trump administration to restart sweeping ICE raids across Los Angeles. Paul Perez is here now to react. National Border Patrol Council President. Paul, your reaction first to this ruling.
As someone that's Latino, I don't get offended at all about the type of rhetoric that they're trying to put online. I mean, they said it perfectly in this news clip. A lot of the Democrats are fear-mongering. That's what they're doing. They're making, Latinos, Latinas, they're making everybody scared and afraid of ICE. Oh, they're coming after all of them. Okay, why? Why?
Yeah, this is great for our agents, but it's even better for the citizens of California and our country because it's going to move the impediment of us allowing to go after these criminals that are all over the country. And so it's really great news. Our agents are very well trained. They undergo a very rigorous academy that's both mentally and physically demanding, where we study constitutional law, immigration law, and criminal law. And so they know exactly what they're doing. This only is going to help us do the job a lot better.
And Paul, DHS reacting to this ruling, they say in part, quote, "This is a win for the safety of Californians and the rule of law. DHS law enforcement will not be slowed down and will continue to arrest and remove the murderers, rapists, gang members, and other criminal illegal aliens that Karen Bass continues to give safe harbor." Paul, what this ruling is essentially going to do is allow Border Patrol, your men and women, to use location, job type, physical appearance, Spanish speaking as some of the factors when making arrests. Why are those factors important to use?
Those are all considered articulable facts. All our agents and officers are trained on how to testify to everything that we do. We understand that all the actions that we take may wind up having us sit in front of a judge and explaining our actions, because every defendant has the right to counsel, and most of these attorneys are going to try to suppress evidence or suppress the stop. And in this case, it allows us to use those articulable facts to establish the reasonable suspicion or the probable cause to effect an arrest. So we know what we're doing. This only allows us to do it, and it takes into account all of those factors that you mentioned.
Paul, what does this ruling mean for ICE sweeps in other American cities like Chicago?
It's great because, again, it allows us to do exactly what President Trump said he was going to do, which is remove these criminals. We know they're operating. I mean, there's millions across the country, so it's not going to be only in Chicago. Anywhere we decide to go, we're going to be successful because of the amount of illegal immigrants that were allowed into this country under the 4 years of the Biden administration. So it's going to be good for us to be able to go out there and use this ruling to apprehend more people that should not be in the country.
And Paul, you might remember back in August, LA Mayor Karen Bass took a little bit of a victory lap when that lower court first blocked what ICE and Border Patrol were doing out here. Here's what she said at the time, quote, "Los Angeles stood strong and we won. You can't just snatch people off the streets based on appearance. The court knows that, the people know that, and now this administration knows that." Well, the Supreme Court has now ruled against Los Angeles, at least for now, while the underlying merits of the case play out. But that's been the criticism, Paul, is that Border Patrol is just going out there and just snatching anybody who looks Latino to them out here in Southern California. What has really been happening?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, the fear-mongering and the rhetoric, the false rhetoric. So our agents they're enforcing immigration law as it is on the books. These are targeted enforcement actions. We use a number of factors to determine where we're going to go and who we're going to go after. And many of these people, they run as soon as our agents and officers get there. So that as well is an articulable fact that can be used for reasonable suspicion. And we can go after them, we can chase them down, and then our investigation begins to determine whether this person's legally or illegally in the country, and then we take them into custody based on, the answers that they give. So, Karen Bass and those other Democrats that are demonizing our agents, they need to stop because it makes it a lot more dangerous for our agents to do the job that they were trained and swore to do.
All right, Paul Perez, thanks so much for joining us on the Breaking News. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
As far as the dissenters, this is Kagan and Jackson. They wrote on the majority's move, quote, "We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, to your point, Bill, and appears to work a low-wage job rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost. I dissent." That is what we have heard from those who oppose these sweeps, these ICE raids. But the Los Angeles area, Bill, you know this better than anybody. I mean, when you look at the numbers that the administration's looking at there, home to nearly 20 million people, the administration is estimating that about 2 million of the residents in Los Angeles are in the country illegally, and that's why it's been a top enforcement priority, Los Angeles.
I mean, I've said it in my other videos, LA's right there by the border. I mean, I'm not surprised how many people would be living in LA or San Diego that came into this country illegally. Now, I still believe that people that have came into this country illegally and have committed no other crimes while being here should at least be given the opportunity to become a U.S. citizen. They would have to file right now, yesterday. File your paperwork, get vetted, and then you can stay in this country. That's my opinion. That's something that I believe the majority of the American people should have asked or demanded of Trump before he became president. But once he became president, he made it very clear it doesn't matter as long as if you came in here came into this country illegally, committed other crimes. Crossing the border is committing a crime. It's breaking the law. And he said it many times that wasn't going to be taken off the table. Those people would also be deported. But I still believe, people that have come here, like I said, they should at least be given an opportunity. Now, everybody else, though, that came into this country illegally, if you've committed more crimes while you've been here, then yeah, you don't get the opportunity. You need to be deported back to your homeland, and you should be in jail in your homeland. No country should be allowing criminals just to be roaming the streets and letting people do whatever they want. As someone that's Latino, I don't get offended at all about the type of rhetoric that they're trying to put online. I mean, they said it perfectly in this news clip. A lot of the Democrats are fear-mongering. That's what they're doing. They're making, Latinos, Latinas, they're making everybody scared and afraid of ICE. Oh, they're coming after all of them. Okay, why? Why? There's consequences to things. Maybe in your home countries, wherever anybody came from, not just Mexico, other countries people came from illegally, they have laws there, right? Okay, well, when you break a law, there's consequences. The same thing happens when you come into this country, and a lot of people think that the United States is a safe haven, full of freedom, no consequences. And that's just not the case. We finally have an administration that's actually putting his foot down and letting the world know if you're a criminal, there's consequences. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get deported. There's death penalties, depending on what you've done. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.